I would say opportunity, a problem, or something missing. That will be an opportunity to start a business, right?
Allowed
So-
me to pick up little patterns of the language, and these are little patterns that when I tried googling I couldn't find anything about. The thing about the Indonesian language is it's fairly young, it's fairly new, so there's not a lot of resources that you can find about it. And then I'm like, okay, this is knowledge. I don't know if anybody else knows about it, but okay, I'm gonna record myself and then I'm gonna, put it out there and see how it goes. And then I went viral. So I just kept going, and then it turned into a business eventually.
When you first start, what was the difficulties that you facing, struggling on making your business journey?
As far as I know, there's currently no other content creator out there who has gotten this big in teaching the Indonesian language. There's hundreds and hundreds of Indonesians teaching English out there, but they teach in real life. They're promoting their language. Cool. It's because we live in a digital age. What I want to do is to develop this curriculum that allows you to teach the Indonesian language, and you don't have to attend the classes in real life. And there's a market for that.
Hi, I'm Penny from ILA Global Consulting. So welcome to our FEMPRENEUR's story journey about the female entrepreneur in Indonesia. Today, I have my beautiful guest star, Lauren. So she will explain or tell us the story about the journey. Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good today. How are you?
I'm well. So yes, Lauren. So perhaps you can share about your journey, like where you're from and what you do.
Yeah, my family moved around when I was growing up, so we kind of live everywhere. But I'm essentially from the Java Island because my dad is from East Java and my mom is from West Java.
Okay.
My mom is from Bandung. She's Sundanese, and my dad is Javanese.
Well, the same.
Yeah. But when I was in high school, my family moved to Yogyakarta, and we just kind of lived there. My dad fell in love with the city, and he still lives there. He loves it. And yeah, so my entire family is in Yogyakarta, and right now I'm in Bali, just visiting basically. I got more.
Oh, there you go. But so, as far as I know, that Lauren here has a business. Okay.
Yeah.
You start your business, so perhaps you can share a bit how you start your business and explain about your business, Lauren.
Yeah, so I started in September 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's so what I do for a living professionally, and I still do it now because I love it. It's my career. I am a simultaneous interpreter.
Okay.
And you know what that is?
Well, tell me. What is it?
Okay, so have you ever watched TV, watch the news, and then somebody speaking in a foreign language, and then there's a translator translating over them, over their voice,
Yeah.
right away?
Mm-hmm.
That is what I do for a living.
I see.
So people invite me to conferences, seminars, webinars, workshops, and etc. And then I would sit in this little booth with headphones on and a microphone, and then I would translate in real time as the speaker is speaking.
Interpreter. Yeah.
Interpreter.
Interpreter. Okay.
Exactly what I do. And what happened was at a certain point, because I'm so used to switching between the English language and Indonesian and back and forth, and it in a matter of seconds, because when us. The thing about being an interpreter is your responsibility is to make sure that the conversation goes over smoothly. So I would be translating this business meeting, for example, between two different parties who don't understand each other, and so that got me
So that was the idea.
So yeah, and doing that allowed me to pick up little patterns of the language. It got me to wonder okay, so when an English word is translated to Indonesian, it becomes a certain way, and vice versa. And these are little patterns that when I tried Googling, I couldn't find anything about.
Exactly. Okay.
The thing about the Indonesian language is it's fairly young. It's fairly new. So there's not a lot of resources that you can find about it. And then I'm like, okay, let's just, this is knowledge that I don't know if anybody else knows about it, but okay, I'm going to record myself and then I'm going to, put it out there and see how it goes.
I see. Wow.
And then I went viral.
Okay.
And so I just kept going, and then it turned into a business eventually.
All right. So that is the background. That was the background. So from that point, when you realize, so when you had, I will say, opportunity, a problem, or something missing, that will be an opportunity to start a business, right? So, when you first start, okay, so what was, or I don't know, the difficulties that you're facing, struggling on making your business journey?
I mean, quite a lot, honestly, because as far as I know, I don't currently there's currently no other content creator out there who has gotten this big in teaching the Indonesian language. There's hundreds and hundreds of like Indonesians teaching English out there, but
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
when it comes to Indonesians teaching Indonesian to foreigners,
Okay.
like there's like a bunch of language schools who set up like their Instagram account, but like they teach in real life. They're promoting their like language school. Meanwhile, me, like what I want is, because we live in a digital age.
Exactly.
So what I want to do is to develop this curriculum that allows you to teach the Indonesian language, and you don't have to attend the classes in real life. So I developed a curriculum, and then I created self-paced courses on my website, and there's a market for that.
Yeah.
I was so nervous about it, because I'm like, are people gonna buy this?
Of course, look, how many followers that you have in your Instagram.
The people are into it.
Yes. So actually, that's pretty unique. That's pretty a good catch up on the market, right? So mostly of your clients are foreigner.
Well, yeah, and also, what's surprising? There's a bunch of Indonesians out there. Well, they're descendants of Indonesians
Okay.
who were born abroad, and maybe like they never really got like much chance to study,
Learn Bahasa Indonesia.
Indonesia, and then they wanna feel closer to their home. They wanna learn about their roots.
Okay.
So they also sign up for my courses.
Ah, okay. So how does your course works? Is it online? How many hours? Like,
Okay, so I have a website. So
okay.
the best way to describe it is it's kind of like a Netflix. Think of Netflix, okay, with all the movies and everything that you can access.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like Netflix, but instead of movies and shows, you get like access to videos of me teaching the Indonesian language, and you can watch it whenever you want. And then there's also like thousands of exercises that you can work on about this experience, and also PDFs.
That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and one really cute thing that I found about foreigners who are learning Indonesian is they really love flashcards. Did you know this? So
Okay.
they would like print out like little words,
Okay.
and then like sometimes they would like write it down themselves, and then like keep them as like little cards. And so what I have available on my website is like a bunch of like template for a flashcard, and like you can print them out if you want. So it's just little words like for example, kucing.
So it's like, so it's learn about phrases in Bahasa Indonesia, right?
Little words,
I think it's a good point, because even Indonesian also perhaps we are missing what is the Bahasa Indonesia of this language, because we talk in a slang word sometimes,
Yeah.
and then to interpret to English it's quite difficult, right?
It's true.
So your clients now mostly they are coming from which country?
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I mean, there's like most of them are situated in Indonesia because
Okay.
I looked at their locations one time, and a lot of them are expats living in Indonesia. I mean, that would make sense. They would need to learn Indonesian.
Exactly. Eventually, yes, everyone. If you stay long time in Indonesia, you need to. Otherwise, like you don't understand. You will not understand what people
I
talk.
mean, you step out of Bali, you step out of Canggu, and then you step out of Jakarta, and nobody speaks English.
Exactly. I think it's always in another countries, also around the world. Like if you not everyone in a, let's say in the outskirt or in the countryside. Let's say when you are in some Asian country, also they don't speak English. Meanwhile, we know that English is like a worldwide language. It's like your first language. Everyone need to be able to speak English in order to go to another country. Okay. So in this business, how you manage actually? So you have your this your own Netflix, okay?
Yeah.
So you work with the team or you work alone? How you manage your
I think
business?
I'm no business expert. I think I would like to think that I'm still very young and I still have a lot to learn. And I think like a piece of wisdom that I've acquired in the past year is that like, you know, it's not enough to be good at something. You must also have like the humility to admit that like you can't do everything. You know?
Okay, yes.
And you gotta learn how to actually work with people. I think that's like the true skill of like a businesswoman. You know, to be a good businesswoman is not just to be good at something,
Oh, yeah.
but to be good at like networking and working with other people.
Okay.
I don't know anything about programming, so I hired like a team of programmers to design the website and everything.
I see.
And it worked out really, really well. I mean, the website is doing totally fine.
Yes.
And I also work with like a team of marketers. So they manage my like Facebook ads and Instagram ads and everything. They're in charge of
So their social media, everything is handled by the agency. So it's also the same. I think and how you manage all that. So you hire, right? And how many people now you have in your?
Oh man, I mean they're an agency. I don't know how many people
Oh, okay.
are in the company, but like I closely work with like let's say 4 different people.
Okay. Are they Indonesian?
They're not Indonesian.
Oh my.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing.
Tell me.
So I have to market a product that comes from Indonesia,
Yeah.
but its customer base is solely like international.
Yeah.
Okay. And what I was like having issues with when I was developing the website was to incorporate a payment method that can connect between an Indonesian bank account and the international bank. Because the thing is, like, I love this about Indonesia, by the way, but also like this has like some downsides and like upsides.
Yes.
So our country, like our banking system, is pretty independent. I mean, like look at like all the payment methods that we have, like GoPay and OVO and GrabPay, Shopee Pay, and like all of and the Chris. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are.
So I think it's also good for everyone out there as an entrepreneur. So become the downside of having a business is how you set up the payment, how you set up your financial thing.
So these are like very like exclusive Indonesian payment methods, and like a foreigner might not have access to that. So like to set up a website with like that is based in Indonesia would not be enough, because like the kind of payment methods that are used worldwide are usually not used in Indonesia.
Yeah, and by the way, that's so I've been living in I mean like I moved to Bali is just like last year, right? So my whole life is like most of half of my age I was living in Jakarta. I'm still go back and forth between Jakarta and Bali.
Yeah.
So I've been in a community also in Bali, many community actually, how to go here. And this is also a problem that we face with, okay? So we have limitations on bank transactions.
Exactly.
And then everyone, oh yeah, we cannot do it, we cannot connect this bank. I'm not saying brand, right? I don't want to say brand, but this is also a problem. So in my expertise, I'm not saying in my expertise, I'm saying like in my business, right? This is also actually an opportunity when a business owner, let's say, I don't know, in the future, maybe there's also a female entrepreneur that want to have a business in here, they can hear the problem in Indonesia and they can start also, right?
So I had to hire a marketing team who knows how to integrate international payment methods and connect it to an Indonesian bank account.
Okay.
Because like I don't want to set up a website and then like have people be like, okay, if you want to get the course, like just transfer it to my Indonesian bank account. Not everybody is able to.
Yeah. It's not really convenient way to do it.
Very convenient. It takes a long time. I mean, like, so how do we make it simple for people? And that was like the big question.
Simple. Wow. That's the very strong word. Simple. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with a foreign direct investment, which is connect Indonesian government. But it's good point that you pointed out, like nothing in Indonesia can be simplified as what you want, right?
Exactly.
We have very tight regulations. We are a developing country, which is not really open as you are the first world country. Everything is that need to be simplified, need to be explained to the investor, explained to the foreigners, etc. And this is what happened in Bali at the moment, right? As you see, now you came to Bali. It's so actually this is I think it's very quiet here. Okay, before like it's very crowded. It's so crowded, right? So I think to simplify, I think it's also need a voice from the government that to simplify, to make everything simple, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Even for us, even for the Indonesian. I'm Indonesian. You're Indonesians, right?
This is just like a very general observation about like Indonesia as a country, and I think this is a very good thing. I think we're pretty much like in a lot of elements, in a lot of sectors. I think we're pretty self-sufficient because you know, and that is why our like banking system is largely disconnected from the rest of the world, and we are able to survive independently. When there's a monetary crisis that's going on in other parts of the world, we might not be affected, and that's great. But the downside to that is we have our own system that doesn't translate to like the rest of the world.
It has of the world. It's
when
like
you wanna set up a business, which customer base like 100% consists of the rest of the world,
the rest of the world.
it gets tricky.
Yeah, yes, that will become tricky. So that's why it's need to be a collaborations between Indonesian and the outside the rest of the world itself, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
well, good. Okay, now, good thing is that. So what make other than just boring? So what do you think about Bali? So why you came here?
Did you just say boring?
Because you said I'm just boring outside, stay in Yogyakarta, and then you come to Bali. It's just because you're boring, you feel bored, and then you come here, or what? What do you tell me? What do you do in Bali actually?
What I do in Bali, I have friends here, which is great, and like you know, I hang out with them, and you know, being an entrepreneur, I kind of like travel for a living because like I go wherever a job demands me to go. And Bali is like one of the places. So I know like a bunch of people here and also like college friends. And I love beaches.
Yeah.
I love beaches. And the thing about Bali is there's a lot of solo travelers. And what I love about traveling is to get to know new people. I think that's what makes traveling special. And yeah, I'm getting to know you.
Me too. Thank you.
Great.
Sharing ideas. So yes. So you as the female entrepreneur, I will say, you started in 2022. You already have how many followers you have now?
40,000.
40,000.
It's not too big, but
It's not too big, but it's great. Okay, in just what 1 year, right? 2 years already now.
1 year.
Okay, so what is the most challenging
The most challenging
part until now?
to me, you know, I in the past like I would say 2 months, I think like I gained like an immense amount of followers. All of a sudden, I think I gained like over 10,000 followers in the past 2 months alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this might sound really hypocritical, but I feel like there's a chance that I'm gonna gonna get bigger from this point on. And what I'm still not used to this day is getting recognized. Yeah. Like
You already have your many followers, and you still feel like you're done.
yeah.
Recognized.
I love Canggu because there's not as many people here. It's not
Okay.
so crowded. But like still, even then, like I would go to a coffee shop, a random coffee shop, and then a person would just walk up to me and be like, "You're that girl from Instagram," or "You're that girl from TikTok."
Okay.
And like I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I would have a conversation with them, and it's usually good. Depends. Like I've had like really weird encounters with people.
Mhm.
Especially men. Men get really weird.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And but sometimes like I just kind of want to be like part of the crowd and be anonymous, and it's just really weird when people recognize me. I mean, it's nice, it's okay. Like if you want to walk up to me, it's fine. It's just I just have to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah, okay. So that's the most challenging.
Uh,
Be recognized by new men. Oh, yes. Well, that's the yeah. It's not everything will be perfect. Everything has a my plus minus, right? Okay.
I guess. I mean, like, when I'm in Jogja, I would just sometimes like just go out with my best friend. And we would just be walking down the street, Jalan Malioboro.
Jalan Malioboro. What is jalan? Street.
The Malioboro Street. Yeah, we'd just be walking down the street, and like sometimes we get like foreign tourists as well in Jogja. Like I've caught like in a couple of occasions like people like actually like staring, and then they would just like start pointing at me and while whispering to each other, and I'd just be like, deep down, like, man, like if you want to walk up to me, just walk up to me. It feels weirder when you're just there staring and pointing. I'm a person.
Well, speaking of Indonesian language, you teach people
Yeah,
the Indonesian.
yeah.
What is the most interesting phrase that you teach to your clients?
I teach everything. I think the reason why people like my content is because I teach really unconventional things. If you want to get into the details, I teach swear words. And I think like Indonesian being such a polite country, a polite culture, we want to be like presentable to people. I think that's kind of like groundbreaking to a lot of people that like, wow, you're teaching swear words. But that's part of the culture. That's part of the language. Embrace it. And
So you teach also the culture in any case, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing. So, okay, let's take a step back because I heard in Yogyakarta in Bali, right?
Yeah.
How do you see Yogyakarta and Bali now? How they grow?
Oh, in what sense?
I don't know. You tell me because like Jogja 10 years ago, 5 years ago will be different from now because Indonesia is not always about Bali. You are Indonesia female entrepreneur. So tell me, how is it life in Yogyakarta compare how is it life in Bali? So people, because people living in Bali, it's like a bubble. They just know Bali. They don't know if Indonesia is
Oh my God.
such a big
Oh my God, that is so true.
big countries, right? There's a Yogyakarta in Java Island, there's Sumba, there's Sumbawa, there's a Papua. And then now, since that you mentioned that you've been living between Yogyakarta, Bali. Oh yeah, you travel a lot. Okay. So what is your opinion about living in living in Yogyakarta and living in Bali? And you're living in Jakarta too, right?
I go to Jakarta quite a lot. For
Okay.
work, basically, I hate Jakarta. I'm sorry. You guys gotta put it out.
Okay, tell me, girl. So tell me, Jakarta, Yogyakarta, and Bali. So what is the difference?
I mean, they're all three are really different cities, for sure. Jakarta is a metropolitan. It's a very busy city. It's filled with very very busy people, and like nobody cares about you when you're down the street. In
And because it's just about work.
It's just the work. Yeah.
Yes, making money.
Exactly. Like
So
when I'm out with my friends in Jakarta, and then like I ask them like, "Hey, where's a fun place to go to hang?" And they're like, "The mall." It's like, where else can you go in Jakarta?
yes. Jakarta is more to busy city.
It's a business
It's a corporate. I will say it's a busy city with a corporate people that doing just the work because the businesses mostly are there, right? Yes. Yes. All the headquarters, the governments, now is in there. Okay, now that is Jakarta, right?
Jakarta.
Okay, and then
There's Jogja. I think the thing about Jogja, and I think it's really special about Jogja, and people romanticize it a lot. I feel like the thing with Bali is like you get a lot of foreigners coming here, right?
yeah,
Meanwhile, a lot of Indonesians, when they think about tourism and they think about a place where to go, I think they would choose Yogyakarta. I think
why?
because
In your opinion?
I feel like the Jogja's government does a lot of effort to preserving the culture. So we have a lot of historical buildings and like we have like our like very like and a lot of people in Jogja are just really proud to be part of Jogja.
Part of Jogja, yes.
And the thing is like everything's so cheap in Jogja. Like you can get like a full meal for
What is it? The name? Nasi apa? What is it?
nasi kucing.
Nasi kucing. Meanwhile, in Bali is nasi jingo.
Nasi jingo. Yay. Yeah. And the thing about Jogja is like it gives off this vibe of just being very laid back. It's a place that I think a lot of people aspire to go and like stay and grow old in.
Mhm.
It's very slow paced, and it's like it's a bit traditional in a sense. I mean, like we get a lot of students and everything.
Yeah, but I also heard that Yogyakarta also developing a lot of touristic area open.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
hotels is a lot there, so tourism is actually work well there.
it does.
It's not only in Bali, right?
Yeah.
Because I think people forget about this. Okay, uh, Bali and Jogja, we have our own kingdom, different sides. So it's the same, right?
And Jogja is kind of more on the cultural and educational side because we got some of the best universities in the country.
Exactly.
And Jogja is also like it's very diverse because we get students from literally all over Indonesia and probably like all over the world.
All
as
over the
well,
world as well.
studying in Jogja.
Yes.
So it's very multi.
Studying culture mostly, yeah?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's Jogja is where like a lot of cultures merge and congregate, and like I think that's very special about Jogja. You know.
Okay. And how do you think about Bali?
Well, I think about Bali.
And there's Bali now.
Bali is like, I think that it's very unique how like Bali as a place has like very different areas where you go to, you get like a different experience of the culture, because like some areas has like just Indonesians, and then there's like this like other bubble where it consists of just foreigners,
Yes.
and these are like whichever that you decide to go to, you get a different experience, you get to see different parts of the culture and like and the thing. What I think is special about Bali kind of is like these expats, they kind of developed like their own like little like tribe, I guess, of like digital nomads. And I think that's pretty cool. I've gotten to know quite a few and also quite a few content creators who are also living here, and there's a lot of content creators.
Oh, exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Digital nomad marketers, everything, a lot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, with different experience, of course.
Yeah.
Then mostly a foreigner.
But like what I also love about Bali is I think the locals are very kind to me. I love
Also to me.
yeah. No, I think like I don't know, like I love Canggu. I love this area, but like sometimes I feel like the locals are so used to seeing bule, foreigners, that like when they see an Indonesian, it gets like really wholesome, because they would be asking me like about like where I'm from, like why are you here?
Oh, I get that a lot. Because mostly I live in a, we can say, bule neighborhood in Canggu, in Ubud. Now it's become more in Uluwatu downside. Here go again, Pararena. There's an area that most of foreigners living, right? And they said, and then, come on, I'm Indonesian. Obviously, I'm Indonesian. And they will ask, where are you from? Hello, I'm from Indonesia. It's just like, okay, because I agree with you, because they mostly seeing foreigners, so that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, so Georgia is also equal comparisons with Bali?
Jogja is very slow paced. Bali is very fast paced because there's a lot of people who come and go.
Okay, in terms of that, okay.
Yeah, they're both good in their own ways, It depends on like what kind of vibe are you looking for.
Where have you been in the part of Indonesia?
Last year I had this kind of long-term, like year-long project in the eastern part of Indonesia. So I went to Labuan Bajo quite a lot back and forth. What's really funny? I was always there for work, that I've never been to the Komodo Island. I really want to. I should probably. Yeah, but
that is one of magnificent place actually.
Yeah, I should go.
We have our how to say, the dragon Komodo, right? It's
Komodo dragon.
Yes.
And yeah, the tourism development is happening right there.
Yes,
And
yes,
you can
yes.
see the government making like really huge effort into like constructing the tourism industry there. So I think that's pretty cool. But also like I hope that the gentrification won't be too bad, and that the locals were they wouldn't put aside the locals' culture.
Of course, yes.
In-
That's also my visions, actually, my goals.
Yeah.
As a me too, we are same. We are female entrepreneurs, so we are starting our business. So my ideas is I'm mostly dealing with the foreign direct investment, having a foreign investor. But what I would like is that everyone could synergize very well,
Yeah.
collab. Also, so the everything is equal, right? It's not that you come you come to Indonesia and you don't know how to deal with Indonesian, right? Yeah, some people, I think, also at this point we should open everyone's eyes that actually Indonesia is beautiful country. We are open for any kind of business opportunity, right?
Yeah.
As you see, in Labuan Bajo, in Yogyakarta, there's a lot of places, right, that you can explore more. Okay.
Great.
And you, now, one last question. As a female entrepreneur, so what would you advise to everyone if they're struggling with their business or if they want to start their business?
I feel like, this is a thing that this is a thing that I learned as well. I think if you have a vision and you believe in it, no matter what everybody says around you, just keep at it. If people are gonna talk, people are gonna hate, people are gonna make fun of you and think that you're insane for doing what you do. But if you believe in it, just keep doing it because it'll pay off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Lauren. That's a very thoughtful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I think at this point that we should embrace our
Yeah.
dreams, our visions. Don't feel underestimate or belittle about what you can or you cannot do.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's always a way. Like you're struggling, don't know how to do your marketing, don't know how to do your website. So there's always a solution. So that's why you come to a consultant. You do this with your partner. So as you said, we cannot do everything by ourselves. Okay, so that is the personal struggling. So now, how about the business struggling?
Yeah, the business struggling is it was really hard to I want this business to be legal, of course.
Okay.
I don't want to be doing this under the rug or anything. I don't want anything shady. So I try to look up into the taxation aspect of my business, and
Yeah.
it was really tricky because a business of this form, because the product that I have, my website, it's online, this, and the kind of product that I sell, my courses, they're also completely online. There's no physical form of the object. And so my company does not have a physical location, and my product is not even
Well,
for real.
at some point, running a business also a tricky part, right? The compliance, you said about the taxations, about the legality. So actually, yes, it's a good point that if you have a company, well, actually, company you can use a virtual office, not necessarily to be like a physical office.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you are registered as in the tax office, and then yes, it's also a good point that you have a company. Otherwise, all the taxations will be borne to you, which is it will become your liability as a business owner, as a person, as an individual.
Yeah.
So there's a few type of ownership in legally.
Yeah.
But I think the most suitable when you're doing business, it will be setting up a limited liability company. So you don't need to worry about that. About the taxations comes to you, but it will simplify all of the tax exposure that you've been dealing with so far. Okay.
Thank you so much. I would apply that. I have a legit question though.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you have a legit questions. Okay, that's good. Okay, what is it?
Okay, so for a business that doesn't have an actual physical location, to sign up for a limited liability company, you have to have a physical location. That's the thing. That's the regulation in Indonesia, right? So do you suggest that I put down my home address or something?
Oh, no. So meaning by virtual office is that registered business office. So there's many of co-working space or locations that they offer a virtual office. So basically your company address will be registered in that address. address.
Okay.
And it's a business address. It's not, you cannot have a company in residential. Okay. And that business address is connected with the tax office. So you will get your tax card, you can pay your taxes, and it will be registered in that address. So it's necessary that you also disclose your contact, your email, who is in charge of this company to that virtual office company.
Okay, that's solid advice.
Yeah, my pleasure. So yes, that's okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Lauren, and thank you for listening. It's been a great conversations. I will see you again next time, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.